Video starting.
All right.
For YouTube.
Oh.
And here comes the podcast. You ready?
Ready.
In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
Dun dun dun.
Dun Dun Dun.
What? Oh my gosh, we have what's that word? Dang it, I missed it. Missed the joke. My bad.
Oh, there it goes. Over your head.
Ominous music. That's the word.
Ominous music. All right.
Now we have ominous music. Why are we ominous?
Besides, I like villains compared to superheroes.
That's true.
I don't know what it is about it. I like the villains. The freedom of a villain, not constrained by certain aspects of life. I don't know.
I was watching the Samuel L. Jackson. That man's evil.
Glass?
No. I was watching his documentary.
Oh.
Like his career took off at 42. It's incredible.
Dude, a lot of people though, at that age.
Incredible. Oh yeah.
Wow.
He wrote Pulp Fiction when he was at 42.
Wow. Didn't even know that.
Well, same thing with Mr. Shawshank Redemption, the voice of God.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh,
that's
he didn't start off till later in life.
Yep. That's true.
And that's one of those that's one of those things that's really interesting, by the way. If you start looking at people who have success, everybody wants to be successful at like 25, but you don't have the experience in life to even, very, very, very few there's only like this many Zuckerbergs in the world,
right?
Right, compared to everybody else who has to kind of try things, fail, and then finally make it at some point in the future.
Well, you were talking about Manziel. See what happens when you hit success early and you have no life experience, you fall apart.
Exactly.
Ouch.
It falls off.
Yikes. All right, well, welcome everybody to the show, and in the studio today we have Mr. Ollie Amirkhiz. Did I get that right?
That was good.
That was good.
That's why I do the intros.
That's why he does the intros.
So thank you everybody for joining us. Don't forget, we are still continuing our shoe drive. We are still at 358 shoes as of this recording here today. Nice. Please bring us some shoes. I will be happy to pick them up from you. I will take a ride out to wherever you are as long as you're here in San Diego.
You'll be able to check out his Harley.
Yep. She's beautiful. And hey, I'll take an extra helmet if you want to go for a quick ride. No biggie.
Right. Hey, by the way, today 6:00, collaborative marketing workshop. So if you're hearing this on the podcast because you listen to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, we really appreciate it. By the way, thank you very much. But you're a little late. If you're on Facebook Live, which is where you want to be on our show, you can get some of the more up to date information. Collaborative workshop is tonight. You still got time to register. Just go to insuranceblockchain.center/collaboration. Use the promo code BIZBROS, B-I-Z Bros, and you're going to get in for $10. It's tonight at 6 p.m. 2400 Kettner Boulevard, Suite 110, Little Italy loading dock. It's going to be some fun. Plus, if you have an insurance license, it's 4 hours of CE credit. Gotta love that CE.
Gotta love it. And one last thing for everybody who is watching right now, we will be going live one more time in about an hour. This time with Mr. Kayton Del Rosario, who's got a huge announcement for us, and we can't wait to hear what it is.
Right. But in the meantime,
I guess the business bros never stop, right?
Dude, the business bros never stop.
Hashtag always on.
Always on. Ollie, you got so much going on, my friend.
Seriously,
dude. I mean, we talked a little bit before the show started, and I'm not 100% sure where you want to go in the direction of the show today. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and kick off the conversation. How about that?
It sounds good. So, it's actually the last 2 years have been a pretty amazing ride. So went through a pretty big life change, got a divorce, and kind of woke up one day, didn't recognize who the heck I was, so I just started reading away. So basically spent the last 10 months, lost 100 pounds.
100 pounds?
Oh, yeah.
I saw some of those pictures on Facebook.
Right?
Dude, tell me a little bit about that, dude. I mean, people do transform. They decide one day something clicks in their head, right? I don't know if you read Michael Gerber, the E-Myth.
No, I gotta read that.
Okay, so he has a story in there about, the fat guy and the skinny guy, right? And then one day you realize that you're the fat guy, and so you decide that you want to be the skinny guy. So you switch, right? Something clicks in your head, and you go to your fridge and you throw everything that's bad out. You decide that you're gonna go out and buy gym clothes, and you get that gym membership, and you start going, and everything's good for about a week. And then about a week into the whole program, the alarm goes off, and you're like, it's kind of cold.
Right.
I don't really want to go. And so, you're the fat guy with the mindset of a skinny guy, but then all of a sudden, the mindset of the fat guy comes back and you struggle, right? And that's something that people can't switch on and off all the time. They can't commit to get to the point where you lose 100 pounds.
Right.
And you have a full life transformation. What's that like? What was your mindset like? How did you change that?
So the funny story is, like, everything started about 11 months ago where I was watching Bill Burr, a comedy special. And he's like, you know, it's really hard for me to feel sorry for fat people because when you walk into a grocery store, people are like throwing vegetables in you. So I'm like, dude, he just basically called me out. So I've actually struggled with my weight for forever. And so I watched The Miracle Pill on Netflix, and it talks about keto. I'm like, this is it. I'm done. I'm the skinny person in a fat person's body. So I just made the shift. And you know what? The number one thing is, if anybody has looked at my social media profile, it's all about hashtag LCT. It's about Luke, Connor, and Trevor for me. So I define myself just by being a phenomenal father. And how I do that is I don't want to talk. Talking doesn't do any good. So I just made the decision that if I was going to be overweight, I didn't go to the gym. I don't want to be a hypocrite anymore. I'm going to show my kids what you can accomplish when you set your mind to it. So I just made the decision, just started eating healthy. And everything I did was about health. So in 10 months, I cheated one time. And so I ate pizza in Palm Springs on vacation. And that was the only time I cheated in 10 months. Because I'm like, no matter what I do, I'm going to lose these 100 pounds in 10 months because I'm going to show everybody what you can do when you set your mind to it. And it wasn't about proving anything to anybody except for myself to say, look, write your goals down. Sacrifice everything. I sacrificed alcohol. I sacrificed everything because I'm like, I can do this. I know I can do this. All I got to do is set my mind to it. And so February 28th, that was kind of the day that, you know, I had said it was going to be 9.5 months. And so in the month of February, I threw the gauntlet out on social media. Speaking of social media, right? I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym every single day and I'm going to post it on Facebook. So everybody sees I'm going every single day. I went all 28 days in a row.
I see them. You're up there early in the morning, though. By the way,
at 3:30 in the morning. If you want it, you got to go get it,
dude. That's a feat right there. I mean, that's hard to. Dude, I wake up at 5 a.m.
Right,
and that's tough.
Right.
And there was a time when I was waking up at 4 a.m. to go run, and the winter, right? I'm not because I would run outside. Right? There's no way I'm going to go for a run at 4 in the morning. I just didn't want to do it. How do you find it? How do you find that goal to just, when the alarm goes off to say, that's it?
The reason was, I'm like, what price am I willing to pay? So every post that I do, I put hashtag paying the price for my goals. So, and my goal is LCT because there's no way I'm going to fail those 3 kids. Because everything I do is about showing them with my actions, like how serious their father is, about showing them what you can accomplish when you set your mind to it. And in this world, I mean, I've seen some of the guests that you have. Look at the determination that people have after they have a hard life. That's why I love paying the price. The more pain I go through, the more excited I get that I'm going to do this and there's nothing that's going to stop me. Because if I'm not failing every single day, I'm not trying hard enough.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I know you understand, buddy.
Dude, I fail a lot.
Amen.
And,
dude, you're really driven by your kids. How many kids do you have? How old are they?
I have 3 boys. Luke is 12, almost 13. But a 13-year-old today is not 13. A 13-year-old today is like 18. Let's be honest. With social media, it's a whole nother ballgame.
They know way more than we did.
Way more. So it was funny when you were telling me about your son.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That's seriously, it's true. Connor's 10, going on 30. And then my youngest is Trevor. He's 8, and he's like social butterfly like I am. So I love those boys. Everything I do is about those boys. And you know what? When I was a kid and, what I wish my parents would have taught me, that's the way I approach every single day. I'm like, what am I going to teach these kids today that I wish I would have learned back then, because we didn't have access to social media the way we do today.
Yeah.
Like, it's all there. All you have to do, you don't even have to go to the library anymore. You can just pull up YouTube. You could pull up Google. It's all right there. So it's like, how are you going to utilize it to make an impact on these little kids' lives? Because you could set them up for success, or you could just talk.
Oh, dude, it's a 100% different world. I'll give you a funny example. So in class, I was showing this video on maxing out your credit cards, right? And they were interviewing people, and they interviewed this one guy, and he's sitting in an office, or I think it's like a library, and he has volumes of encyclopedias behind him. Right. And so I stopped the video to make a point about it in class, right? And then one of the kids raises their hands, and they go, I don't understand why somebody wants copies of the same book over and over again on their shelf.
That is awesome.
Blew my mind, because for them, they don't know that was our Google. That's exactly how we got information that we wanted. For them, they're like, what the hell do they want the same book over and over again? Their Google is right here. The information they have is right in front of them. They hold it in their hand every single day. And because of it, you're right, the 13-year-old is going on 18. They're exposed to so much more today than we ever even want them to. But it's too bad. It's too bad.
What choice do you have? It's like, I was one of those parents, like, I'm 42. So I'm Generation X, and I'm like, technology is evil. Don't spend so much time on games and all that stuff. And then we were talking about Gary Vee. Like, I love Gary Vee. I feel like I lived in the Matrix, and then I started living and listening to Gary Vee.
You took the right pill.
And it just woke up. I'm like, Lawrence Fishburne? No. So I woke up. I'm like, okay. So now when I teach my kids, it's like, look, why are you going on your electronic? Because if you're going with a purpose, it can be a dangerous tool.
Yes.
If you're just going on there to play mindless Fortnite for 10 hours, okay, we got a problem. But other than that, you know what? I allocate reading time for my boys. Like, they're on a schedule, and this shift for me has made the biggest difference for them. So that's why I'm so passionate about learning. Like, I've already killed 13 books this year, and I'm never going to stop learning. So, because the more I show them how serious their dad is about learning,
the more they're going to want to
talking. Exactly.
Yeah.
I won't talk.
You don't have to. Yeah, they follow you because they see what you're doing. They see how much fun you have, how much you learn, how interactive you are, and they want to be just like you.
Right.
So how do I do that? I got to follow the duck ahead of me. Right? I just got to do what that duck is doing, and I'm good to go. And that's one of those leadership qualities that it's not just something that transcends to your kids, but it transcends to people around you.
It's so funny that you say that, because a funny thing that as people get to know me, I'm like, I'm the most positive blank, blank, blank in the room.
Yeah.
And I make it a point to be that most positive person. And you'll be blown away at who you track when you're the most positive person in the room. Because everybody that's positive wants to be around you. So like, my circle is completely shifted because I'm so selective on who I hang out with. Because your circle makes all the difference. Your tribe makes all the difference. It's like, the more positive you are, there's no reason that 10 seconds should you ruin your 86,400 seconds that you have.
Yeah.
It doesn't
100%.
matter.
Well, the other thing is that whole accountability thing, right? So, Gary Vee talks about this. He's not the only one. There's a lot of people who talk about that. You have you have the ability to respond to whatever situation that happens around you. And I love it when he said, I'm happy because whatever happens is my fault. Right. And that's something that I try to pass on to 17-year-old kids, to my kids, to my spouse. Like, they're like, well, it's your fault. Well, why do you feel like that? I'm like, it's not a negative thing. It's just, I have the ability to fix it or change it or alter the way I feel about it. There's no way that you are going to ruin my day because you're having a shitty day.
I love you, brother. It's so true. It's so true. It's like, I'm like, you could say whatever you want. I'm not scared of anything. I don't care what anybody says, because I'm going to live my life, and I give all the time to people. Because I think that's one of the things I love about Zabi is, like, he is so grateful consistently. And being grateful and giving back, like, I will give back so much because, taking my boys to do community service, doing those types of things, I want to show them what giving back is, not talk about it.
Right.
Talking about it doesn't do anything. There's people that talk all the time. I want to hang out with people that actually follow through. Like the shoe thing that James is talking about. Why are you giving back? Because you should. There's more takers in this world than there are givers. Let's change that. We're the ones. It starts with one person.
Exactly.
I'm going to give back.
All right. So tell me what you're doing. What are you up to these days?
So the funny thing, we were talking about solar, and so I started in solar about like 2 years ago. I worked at corporate America for like 11, 12 years, knew the whole entire time I was an entrepreneur. So I'm like, I'm going to do something different. So I had a ton of friends that were in real estate, lending. I'm like, okay, so what business can I go into that will supplement what they're doing? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll look at solar. We live in the most expensive utility.
We're in a desert, dude.
Seriously. And our utility company does not give us a break at all.
No.
not even a little bit.
No.
So I'm like, okay, so this business is going to boom. It makes sense. Let me go ahead and do it. Then I started listening to Gary Vee. I'm like, and his point is every company should be a social media company first, and whatever your product or service is second. So started just researching social media. I'm like, okay, you know what? I became so passionate about it. I'm like, I'm going to open up my own social media company. So I'm doing the solar thing, which I love. And I think what's really unique about Solar Watt Solutions, the company that I work at, is that it's customer service first and then business second. Mm-hmm. There's so many solar companies out there that really don't understand real estate. And the problem is, if you don't understand real estate, what happens to that homeowner is 10 years down the road, and you know this,
they're tied up.
And then they have to do a price reduction. So what I share with clients is that our experience really begins once the install is done, because solar is not a one-time transaction. And unfortunately, the industry treats it as your install is done.
Bye. Yeah, see you later. Pay your contract.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So we don't do leases. We don't do power purchase agreements. All we do is purchases, because that's the easiest transaction. When you go to sell the house, how easy is it when solar is purchased?
There's no contract attached to the house. Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I think, we do solar the right way. And I've always said, I'm never going to sell a lease. I'm never going to sell a power purchase agreement. And if a client is really, really interested in that, I'll give them a referral to a company that I know at least will give them a purchase option down the road. But that's just not my thing. What I rather do is keep my reputation intact, always do what's in the best interest of the client, because I just believe in taking care of people.
Yes.
Why not just do that first, and you protect your reputation and you give the best experience? So solar is kind of what started my, evolution into marketing, but now it's all about, inclusion marketing consulting. So we launched last week on Tuesday. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, because our focus is really small business and medium business. And you do this for a living. How intimidated are people by social media?
Oh, tons.
Oh my God.
They love it. They use it.
Right.
They just don't know what to say when they hit the record button.
Right. But how many people go live?
Not very many.
Not very many.
And
where's Facebook going?
It's all going live. Everything. Yeah. I mean, they want you to use their live features. They want you to post as much content as possible. They want you to have those geotags. They want you to know everything that's going on, where it's going on at the moment that it's going on. There's just so much data there, but people they're afraid to use it.
Right.
They fear using it. And I don't blame them though. I mean,
I don't.
At the same, who wants to look bad? Who wants to look silly? We all have ego. Yeah, okay. Well, some of us do. Right? No, but I mean that's what it is, right? They fear making a fool of themselves.
Right.
Right. And so because they're afraid that they don't know exactly what to say, it's that whole analysis of paralysis, right? They're trying to be perfect, so they never get anything done. Right. And that's what they fear. That's why there's no consistency. And, I advise people all the time. They say they want to start a podcast. I'm like, cool, here you go. This is how you do it. It's really easy. It's not very difficult. This is where you should get the equipment.
Right.
But few people keep the consistency going. They'll do a couple and it'll fall off. Here's how you do an Instagram video. This is how you do it. This is how you should read a script. This is when you can do it. Very few people do it consistently, right? And that's the issue, I think, is in any type of marketing, is the consistency factor.
Right.
If you're not consistent, you're going to fail.
And you know what we're really comfortable at, and I think which is what's unique about our company, I don't mind calling people out. So if they don't engage, like our clients, I'll send them a message at the end of the night, like, why did you not engage your audience? So the way I look at engagement is this. What I loved about what stood out for me when we met, and that was only like 2 months ago, maybe, where I saw the live, I'm like, oh man, this guy's awesome. So you sent me a video via Facebook Messenger. I'm like, I love this guy's style. I got to meet this guy. So like right away, I'm like, okay, how can I get on your podcast? Because it's that engagement. Like if somebody walked down the street and they said hi to you, would you just walk past them, ignore them?
No, you say hi back.
But how many people get comments on their social media and they
ignore
never
them.
reply?
Right.
Like, how do you do that? So I think that's where it's really cool with what we do, because at the end of the night, I'm like, I tell all our clients, please tag me on all your posts, because I'm going to look at them and then I follow up, and not in a bad way. But if your goal is that I'm going to build my brand, I'm going to engage my audience, and I'm going to increase my traffic, then guess what? If you're our client, we're going to go out of our way to make sure we deliver on those things.
Yeah. But that's really what it comes down to. I love how you said that. The commenting is huge.
It's huge.
And there's a misconception on what communication, what engagement is on social media. So, you said, when you would walk by, you say hi, would you ignore that person? In real life, you wouldn't. You'd say hi back. And whatever they say, if they say howdy, you say howdy. If they say what's up, you say what's up.
You're going to mirror.
You're going to mirror. Exactly. So when somebody leaves a comment, usually what people think is, well, if I hit like, I've responded. And that is the misconception right there. That is the problem. You want to grow your audience. You want to engage with your audience. You got to make sure you interact with them. You got to make it, that is the point of contact. You can say hi as you walk by in the audience, or you can say, hey, how's it going? By the way, how was your day? That extra little step is where you create the engagement, is where the communication happens. It's where the relationship gets built at that point. And that's what's not happening on social media. You're thinking you're mirroring by clicking like, but you're not mirroring at all. A mirror would be at least a comment. And if you take the comment a step further, where you maybe generalize or ask a question or something that sounds intriguing, now you're building a relationship. Or take it a step further, you video DM people.
That stood out to me. And you know what? There's so much creative ideas out there, and people get so self-conscious about content. Man, just take 15 minutes of silence. So I really, in the morning when I wake up at 3:30, the crazy person that I am, I everything is off. It's awesome. 15 minutes of silence. You'd be amazed at the ideas that you come up with, that you can apply, and don't make it complicated. Like, if I was a realtor, I'd walk in the best feature of a home, and I'd tell a story for 10 minutes about the best feature of that home. And it's that simple. Don't make it complicated. But if you think about, there is so many stories within a home. How many new homes are being built? A lot of it is resale. So if you're reselling it, that's the approach that we say. And we really go above and beyond to get to know our clients, because it's so easy to connect on social media. The way I look at it is digital door knocking.
It is.
It's digital door knocking. How easy is it to get people that believe in what you believe, to make those connections? It's so much easier on social media. So there's still a ton of people that are doing direct mail.
Just send it
How
out.
much value?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. I think even direct mail has its place, especially if you're doing
Absolutely.
geo farming. It's just a matter of getting your image out there, right? If they're seeing your stuff via snail mail, they see your stuff for Instagram or Facebook ads in that geographical area, and then they see you pop up on other people's stuff for commenting. You're in their subconscious. When they need something, they're just naturally going to think of you. But it's all one of those things that is synergistic. It's got to be done at the same time in the same area on a consistent basis. The onesie twosies, it's just not going to work.
And that's the point. What you talked about is synergy, and not utilizing social media for all its capabilities. You can't achieve synergy. It just doesn't happen. So I think that's why there's so many, like in San Diego, there aren't that many marketing companies. Most realtors, when we go through the interview process, they're getting calls from Florida, Colorado, but real estate is local.
It is. It's
local. So if you don't have that support system locally, it's hard. So our big focus is actually Facebook Live. We're gonna actually do professional production, but focused on the realtor itself, because their brand is themselves. So there's a lot of companies, like Zabi's company is perfect. They do staging and they do production for the real estate. We're going to focus on branding for the realtor. And once they build their brand, 45% of home buyers this year across the nation are millennials. Where did they get their information?
They're all on social media.
That's it.
Yeah, no, it's just a coming of age thing. Yep. So you should always be looking forward, like spending a lot of time with your kids at their age. What are they into now?
Right.
Because what they're into now, if you set yourself up in that genre, what they're doing today, in 10 years, those are the people who become your clients, and they've already recognized you because you've been in that realm of their life as they've progressed into adulthood. So it's definitely like Gary Vee says, it's a long tail effect. So you just got to make sure that you get in at some point and stay consistent. And that age group, that piece that you're marketing to will come of age and will recognize you over time. That to me is one of those, like, you have to be able to recognize this into the future. You can't, it's not a today thing. The Facebook Live that you do today probably won't get you a thing, but the ones that you've done today consistently over time, they're going to generate your brand. What do you think about telling people stories?
I think stories are the easiest thing. So do you know how much preparation I did? I mean, I got to learn about you and your brother, but from a preparation standpoint, I'm just telling my story and just being real. Mm-hmm. And the reality is there's going to be some people that like you. There's some people that aren't going to like you. It's okay. The people that like you will go out of their way to make sure that they do business with you.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's, I think when I made it so complicated by being, nervous on Facebook Live, and it's scary at first. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Just get it done.
After your second one, right?
You won't
die.
Right,
James knows. But that's where I think having the consulting, like what I like to share our clients when we go Facebook Live is you're part of the 2% that has the guts to go on Facebook Live and not worry about messing up. It's all good. Mm-hmm. If you mess up, clean it up. And you'll get another chance because it's not going to go away because Facebook is going live. So no matter what anyone says, IGTV, all of these things are prevalent, and there's no better business than being a realtor and building your brand because you will be around and you'll be relevant for the next 5-10 years.
Absolutely.
And the ones that are scared, unfortunately, it's going to be tougher than ever before. And that's the beauty of following people on social media. This is actually one of the best stories. There was a realtor I was trying to build a relationship with from a solar perspective for literally 12 and a half months. On social media, I built a relationship in 7 days.
Yeah.
It's that quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let me guess. You commented on their stuff.
Right.
And then you kept commenting on their stuff.
Yes.
And then they commented back.
Yes.
And then you DM'd.
Yes.
And then you built a relationship.
And that was pretty much it.
So easy.
And they are one of my biggest advocates. And Sherry Harrington, I appreciate it. So I would just say, you know what? You're going to mess up.
Yeah.
You're going to mess up. No matter what you do, you're going to mess up. It's really not that big of a deal. Just keep persisting. Get a marketing company like ours, and we'll help you along. There's a lot of people. What I appreciate about your guests, especially the ones that have a lot of success, nobody that has success tries to keep it a secret.
No.
They're very, very open with what you need to do. And I am a big jab.
Right hook.
Because we give a lot of free content, a lot of free information, because I think that's what you should do. Because as people get some of the stuff, they can do it on their own. And then some of the stuff you want to outsource. So I just figure if we give enough, eventually people will see the value in what we have to offer. Because honestly, we don't stop researching. Technology changes so quickly, you can't. Look at how much have you guys since July of 2018, when you did your first one, how much have you guys evolved?
Oh, tons.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, you're evolving all the time. Yeah.
That's it.
You have to, or you're going to fall.
And be irrelevant, which is not going to happen.
No. You just got to modify and adapt. That's all it comes down to. Dude, okay, so I got one more question for you. You're starting a podcast,
yes.
Right? Let them know, let the audience know how you're going to start it. When I mean, you've already done 2 episodes?
We've done 2 episodes, so we're going to take it to the podcast, but what we're big on is the vlogging. So we have North County Biz Breakdown, and it's focused on having local businesses, not just focused on real estate, but we're going to invite and promote local businesses, because I think a lot of local businesses have opportunity with their social media presence.
Anybody who's in business.
Right?
Yeah.
It's hard. And especially some of the business owners are baby boomers, Generation X. So this is, I think, an easy platform where they come in and we have like a 30-minute rehearsal before we go Facebook Live, just to better prepare them.
Yeah, just get the little bit of practice, get the jitters out. Yeah.
Right. So we schedule everything in advance. They're promoting their business. They bring some of their products. And I know for a fact with my co-hosts, I'm looking forward to you meeting them really soon. What we're going to do is we're just going to go out of our way to promote local business, because I think social media is just a free platform. Just get your business out there. And there's so many great business owners out there that are doing great things in the community. We just want to go and give back. So we're basically broadcasting every Wednesday at 11 a.m. You guys will be guests very soon. Love to have you up there. And it's just really, we're going to go all out in North County because you guys are doing a great job in the South Bay. I mean, you're bringing how many? You've had 170 episodes?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Look at all the businesses that you've promoted. And you guys are making a huge impact on the community. I think that's really what we want to do in the North County, because the North County really doesn't have a show like the Business Bros.
Well, we want to just tell as many of their stories as possible, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately, I want to know, because the people who are successful, we always see them at the top of their game.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's easy to see somebody who's successful and think, well, of course they're doing good. I mean, look at them. They're rocking and rolling.
Right.
But nobody ever hears their stories of how they got there, right? I mean, what about the struggle? What about when they sucked? What about when they were crying? What about when they were, lost at their last dollars in their account? What about that story? Because what did it take to overcome? Some people aren't even going to take the plunge to even think about maybe risking it all and hitting rock bottom to achieve success. But if you hear their stories and you understand that, hey, I'm starting off in real estate. I haven't closed the deal in 4 months. Well, that's cool. Check this guy out. He's crushing it. But when he first started, it took him 9 months to get his first deal. You know what I mean? And he was doing this and this and this. Are you doing those certain things? That is kind of like, okay, now I know where I'm at. It makes sense. This person, I'm on the same track. I can keep going. It sometimes you need that, the little swift kick in the butt to get you to the next level, to get you to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, right? To keep you going every single day. It might be, sometimes it's you have the strength. Sometimes you just need to hear that somebody else has been there,
right?
And I can do it too.
The funny thing is, out of all the guests that you have, how many of them were overnight success?
None.
Took them all 10, 20, 15 years, whatever, to become an overnight success, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. If
you want to get rich fast,
get rich slow.
Get rich slow.
That's the only way to do it. So we're in it for the long game. You guys are in it for the long game, because the reality is we're building our presence, we're building our brand, and there's no doubt once you build your brand on social media, you're gonna be relevant.
Yes.
It's just you are.
That's
where all the consumers are gonna be next year. The biggest segment of millennials hits 30.
Was that North County Biz Breakdown?
That's
North County Biz Breakdown.
We just got tagged.
Yeah. Perfect. There you go. See?
Somebody's keeping an eye on.
Oh yeah.
Accountability partner.
I got my audience.
Who was that?
That was actually my business partner, Leslie Severance. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Said hi to her. She was on the show as well.
Yeah.
She's watching.
We'll have. You guys got to meet her from artistic. So she's basically my James. She's got all that. Along. How are we going to do this? Don't worry about it. Let's just get it done.
I love it.
Awesome. Ollie, let's get some info out. How do people get a hold of you if they want to work with you?
So my phone number is 760-889-6602. Or you can email me at Ollie, Ollie, at solarwattsolutions.com. And very, very soon we'll be launching all our emails and everything, and you'll be really impressed with what we do.
Phone number one more time?
760-889-6602.
Cool. You always got to say it more than once.
Amen.
Always got to say it more than once.
Repeat
every couple times. Yeah. Every moment you can, you need to plug. Every moment you're thinking about, you need to plug.
And I definitely want to give you guys a plug. I really appreciate you having this and doing this. It's awesome. So if I make it a habit to tune in, watch you guys for a couple of minutes. I love the guests that you have. And if you're an entrepreneur and you're not watching shows like this, shame on you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It helps us out a ton.
For sure. All right, really nice to hear.
I already know who you're going to tag because you kind of already told me. But go ahead and tag them on the live feed so they know they're stuck.
Yeah, Leslie Severance.
And we already got her friend because I saw it pop up on the screen.
Absolutely.
So perfect. Leslie, we're going to get to meet you here, and it'll be on your show, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, we'll invite you guys within the next couple of weeks.
Sweet.
We got to get our calendar full for a month, but it's going to take us a few months.
Hey man, if you're already doing it. As long as you comment on people's stuff, I'm telling you, dude. Real quick before we end, when you first, getting people to comment, the biggest thing I hear is, well, they don't even know me. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. right? They don't know who I am. It's gonna be weird. Yeah, the first time you comment on somebody's stuff, they're gonna be like, who's this? But the second time they're gonna be like, oh, thank you. And the third time they're gonna be like, hey, what's up? And the fourth time they're gonna be recognizing who you are, and that's it. You have established something. But it's gonna take you 4 or 5, maybe 6 times before they even recognize you.
Digital door knocking.
But digital door knocking, right?
They say that you have to follow it with clients, all the digital marketing stuff, like 15, 20 times now for them to actually get back to you. So it's like you got to stay. Follow up is everything.
Everything.
It's everything.
And then what's cool is because you're commenting on their stuff and you're commenting on their friends' stuff, they're going to recognize you not only from the stuff that you said, but when they see you on other people's things.
Yep.
And then the next time those two people meet in real life, they're going to be like, hey, what's up? Who's this Business Bros guy? Oh, yeah, I heard that show. Yeah, blah, blah. And that's it. You're setting yourself up. So you want to fill up your calendar, just keep doing that. You're gonna be just fine,
buddy. I'm gonna follow your model. It's not that difficult.
It's not that difficult,
but you gotta follow it and you gotta be consistent, which is the most important word you've said.
Even my model, like I stole it from Gary V too.
Boom. There you go. Love it.
All right, man.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
We look forward to being on your show for sure.
Sounds
for sure.
good.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget 365 shoes. We're still aiming for that. And join us in about 30 minutes. We'll be right back on with Keaton Del Rosario.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Follow us at our social media at Business Bros Pod. And if you want to be part of the show, Hernan at csfirst.com or my telephone number, 619-884-4915.
One more time.
884-4915. James can handle all your insurance needs and pick up your shoes. 619-884-0045. James at csfirst.com. 619-884-0045. That's all we got for you guys for now. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out.
How was it?
Thanks, Facebook.
Good, thanks, Facebook. We love you. Look, now I got my glare going.
We got the same hairstylist.
His name is Bick.
His name is Bick.
Yeah, I love the energy.